Welcome to Mike Delivers. Hi, I'm Rose Geisler, his mother-in-law. Mike is one of my favorite people to cook for because this man really loves to eat. Mike and I would be totally happy drinking large amounts of coffee, eating fried chicken, and watching movies. Thankfully, we have Jessica, my daughter, and his wife to keep us in line making healthy choices. Thanks, Jess, I guess. Anyway, have a great day and enjoy Mike Delivers.
Welcome inside Mike Delivers from his wife's 2017 Toyota Rav4. Here's your host, Mike Biseglia.
That's right, this is Mike Delivers, episode number 71. And I'm your host, Mike Biseglia. And I'm coming to you from my wife's closet in Bloomfield, New Jersey. Thank you everybody for downloading this bad boy. Holy shit, we're on episode 71. How fast did that happen? You can find this podcast where all major pods are found. Of course, Apple. If you do it, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. Stitcher, Spotify, and all the other goodies. And gotta say hello to theprosclub.com. That is the podcast network that I helped to co-found. And if you go on there, you can find this podcast, Mike Delivers. There's other great content like Real Talk Basketball with Rex Walters. He has a conversation with Stan Van Gundy. You can also find Bad Weather Fans and Outside the Box with Mike and Leon. Head over to theprosclub.com. Special shout out to the O'Brien Creative Group. They're the dudes that created my sick-ass logo. I love it. I love the Mike Delivers branding. Besides just doing awesome content with logo designs, they also help you know what you're doing with social media, which is a big deal these days. So head over, check out the O'Brien Creative Group. You can find more information on them inside of my show notes right here on this podcast. Also, if you haven't heard by now, clean balls. That's the way we've got to be now, people. In quarantine time, if your balls aren't clean, you're not doing something right. I know we're all focused maybe on like your hair up top, but it's also about what's going on downstairs. So please, go over to manscaped.com. Look for the Lawnmower 3.0. This will help clean your balls. Use my promo code, Mike Delivers, all one word, and you can get 20% off on your lawnmower, and you get free shipping. This is the 3rd generation trimmer, which features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. You all remember what happened in 1997. I won't bring up names, but the little ball, right off. It was disgusting. Thanks to the Manscaped and the lawnmower, your balls are clean, your balls are safe, and I'm telling you right now, I mentioned this, like your hair, up top, downstairs, you just need to clean it. I don't care how we get there, but you need to clean it, and the lawnmower is great. I'm not even kidding aside, it protects, so you don't have to worry about any nicks or anything like that. It's all good shit right there. Mike Delivers podcast. I'm going to deliver to you 2 super cool guests today. Let's talk to some people that have been on the road and are going through everything with this pandemic and dealing with the bullshit that is on the road. And we're going to get 2 different perspectives, 2 different guests. We're going to start with my man, Benny Blanco. He lives in the upstate New York area. He is a DoorDash rapper, so we'll hear some of his DoorDashing music and what it's been like for him dealing with the COVID-19 and strategies to be clean and safe and everything that's around that. And also my man Jose Ariyano, who lives in Long Island, our conversation about what it's like being a driver in that area. And the one big takeaway from talking to these guys is there is a lot more money to be made out there. People are making money because people are tipping more. People are ordering out more. So, I mean, like a weird side effect of this pandemic is people like the Uber Eats, people like the DoorDashes. There's an influx and more deliveries to be out there because more people are just out there ordering food. So I've got those 2 interviews coming up. And then also, super excited about this. Stories from college. Yep, stories from college. My guy Josh Gutterman, he's going to share some stories about what happened at Syracuse University, and you'll hear some stories from SU and all the shit that I went through. It's a lot of fun. It's been fun reconnecting with Josh because he's telling me these stories that I honestly forgot about and had no idea were even happening. I was like, oh my God, that's right. That happened. That was so cool. I loved it. That was fun. That was awesome. Experimenting something right now. So if you hear me do like a mini pause every so often, I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm recording my face on my iPhone and going to upload it to the Pros Club YouTube page to attract people to get some views there. And every so often I'll get like a text message that comes through my phone and I'm just like distracted by it. So excuse me, apologies on that front. That's what happened. I also realized I think the first parts of this video, I was not looking at the camera. So it's going to be really awkward. But that's what the first one's for, right? I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better, get used to this. I think I've picked my nose twice. So didn't eat the boogers. Didn't eat them. But that is there for everybody. I can't wait to get back to normalcy, and not just in like the sense of everybody. I understand everybody gets back to normalcy, but I think a routine would be nice. I think we've all gotten into our new routine with this thing. Like this is the new routine of what we do. If it's getting up, going to work in your house, if it's every so often having to go to a different place to work, going for a jog outside, going to different rooms to do different work. I mean, it really is a new normal, but I want to get back to it. But I also debate with the fact that, you know what, like this isn't, if your biggest worry is staying at home, that's no big deal. I understand though the money impact of everything and you need to get back out to work. So the whole thing is fucked up. I mean, from all different angles of it. I know I'm jabbering on here, but I kind of get emotional on it because one, my wife and I had it. We did it, so we understand what that impact is. My wife's pregnant, and when she had the COVID, it was scary, and I gave it to her. So I think how I feel, it's scary. So then at the same time, I understand people that are like, if I don't get back to work, I can't provide and take care of my family. So it's a big pull and tug. All I can say is I'm glad I'm not in government and I don't have to make these kind of decisions. So I'm very fortunate for that. Scary shit out there. So just be safe, everybody. And we'll get back into more of a normalcy of this Mike Delivers, and I can talk about stories from the road. I have a cool interview coming up next week for you guys. I haven't recorded it yet, but it's set up with Dean Blandino, who was the head of officiating for the NFL, now works for Fox Sports. Crazy how that came to be. I'll talk about that in another time, but wild shit right there. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the interviews. Here's my conversation with Benny Blanco. He is a DoorDash rapper, and he's been on the road during this pandemic. Then you'll hear from Jose Ariyano. But first, here's my conversation with Benny Blanco. All right, Benny, how's everything been? How are you doing, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm doing all right. Everything is looking all right.
Yeah, it's a weird time right now, huh?
Yeah, it's a little spooky out there.
Yeah, that's a fair. So have you been doing deliveries? Have you been door dashing in this crazy time?
Yeah, I've been dashing honestly through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like just the weekends.
How has it been?
Honestly, it's different. Honestly, like it's like when I started in the beginning of the whole DoorDash, like back in September.
What do you mean by that?
Like, well, the money's been given. Like, the money's better. The money's been good. The money's nuts. Everybody, they just giving out tips. The money's beginning. The numbers are good, but it's just really you got to be cautious when actually there's so many dashers in one restaurant, so many people like outside. Then you got to leave the food outside. It's just pretty crazy.
How have interacting with dashers on the road, have people for the most part been abiding by the rules, or have there been some people where you're like, what are you doing, dude?
In the beginning, I've had to tell some dashers what to do. Like, there's some that come through looking like Spawn from that movie, all masked up and all suited up, ready to go. And you had some dashers, like, you could tell they were dashing just because they were, like, you could just tell. And then, like, they'll come in with their red bag, all brand new, look like, have you even dashed before?
Right.
And then like now because before in the beginning what I seen was like people had no masks and gloves. They might have not been taking it serious.
Yeah.
But then like you started noticing people with masks and gloves, but not really, not people just with masks, but it's just crazy. People are just learning still. Now maybe by now they probably got their masks and gloves because DoorDash is providing that now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so like DoorDash for me is I guess because I've been like I guess not like because I was top dasher, but I guess I don't know. Maybe my ratings are high, but now I can order once a week gloves, masks, and sanitizers and stuff like that.
Wow.
So once a week, I get like a mail of like gloves, mask, and like a little bottle of sanitizer.
What's the protocol now from DoorDash when you get the food and you have to leave it at their front door? I was talking to somebody who's doing some Uber Eats stuff, and they were saying that people will still come to the door and open it and act like it's still ordinary times.
Oh no, I got a whole thing ready to go, like a whole hey, how you doing? Let me get my notes. I got it right now.
So you have it kind of preset, ready to rock, and you can tell these people so that they're prepared.
Oh yeah, right. Ever since it happened, I've been writing. I think it was hey, hate your dash. I'm healthy, but I like to request a no kind of delivery. Given everything going on, is there a safe spot to place your food?
Smart.
And then that's it. They said, yeah, go ahead, leave it on the doorstep, leave it right there on the chair, leave it on a table I left out for you, and I'm out. Like 1, 2, 3.
Now it's you mentioned before it's the money's better, but it's obviously not.
Yeah,
based on circumstance.
But crazy. Huh?
What's the overall just vibe and feel on the road? Is it spooky?
Oh, yeah, there's no traffic.
Mm.
So like, you're there. But the only thing that takes long, the restaurants take longer. That right there is so crazy, man. I think it's because they're so backed up with orders from like different like other places and other like food deliveries. So like you'll be at Double O's for like sometimes for like 30 minutes, but it's like you're taking a chance because when you get delivery, you might get like $25 out of that or 30 just in case because of the tip.
Especially with the double one, so you have to just play the waiting game and hang out. Yeah. Now is that stressful for you trying to make the balance of okay, should I cancel this or should I hang out? You have to kind of go with your instincts, right?
Yeah, pretty much same way. It's the same thing. It's the same way. It don't matter. It's just hey, this is what you signed up for. So like you could cancel it and wait for another order if it comes in because it's like a timeline right now. You got to get all the orders in by before 8 because everything closes by 8.
Oh, right, because there's nothing doing deliveries after that time. So it's like it's earlier in the day. That's a great point. Yeah. Interesting.
So you got orders from like you can have orders till 10. Those food chains restaurants, but at the same time, are you gonna get that order? There's a time where I sat there for another hour past 8, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. So you start realizing what you got to do.
So the fast food restaurants and chains, they're open past 6, but the local mom and pop restaurants, they're closing at 6. So it's a different world.
Yeah, like Outback Steakhouse and like McDonald's, they're all open on the weekends. But like you just take that chance the mom and pops are the ones you want to go to because they tip more. Yeah. But either way, it's another strategy you gotta take upon yourself. But at the same time, you still gotta be careful.
That's a very fair and very valid point. And you mentioned that the tips have been higher. What are your average tips going like, and what's the highest one you got so far?
Oh, honestly, I got a tip for like $30.
Wow.
For like a 5-hour order, like I'm gonna take this chance. But then you're thinking like maybe DoorDash is tricking you, but you gotta just say whatever, just do it. You never know, fuck it.
So $30 though, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then some people don't tip you, but what you gonna do? Some people now DoorDash got free delivery, so like, but the money's there, so you gotta be grateful. At least you're still getting the money. Like I'll make like $200 in a day, 300 maybe, and then like if for the 3 days overall, like at least like 400, 600 at least.
Right, just depending on. Do you ever get frustrated in these circumstances? You said you're grateful, but this party like no one's tipping me right now, and I'm putting my life on the line in a sense.
Nah, not the tipping. It's more frustrating when you got to keep going to each restaurant. Put your mask on. Oh shit, did I touch? And then it's like a whole process. Gloves on, mask on, sanitize, ready to go. Like you're on some mission.
I know it's right. So How have the restaurants been towards you? Do they treat you well? Are they nice in
No,
there? Or they
I'm
frustrated?
like I'm not like maybe another dasher complaining. I just go and like because you got the new dashers who be
Mm.
complaining like, "Hey, I've been here for this long," and I sit there in my mask like, "Oh, you brand new." You know what I mean?
You think there's a lot more people on the road that are
Oh
because
yeah,
they need jobs?
oh yeah. There's a lot more people on the road. Like I've seen couples coming in. I was in a restaurant with 12 to 15 dashers and one waiting for food in a restaurant, like in the waiting.
Wow.
I was like, I was like one by one, like okay, Christina, okay, Benny, all right, Jenny, and I'm like, damn, you guys are all dashers. And
Mm.
I'm like, oh, I got to start waiting outside. I was like,
The restaurant, should they be allowing that many people inside? Did they
but that's
kind of screw up the
in the beginning
protocol?
of it. Now it's just like a movie, like everybody outside. Everybody's outside. Like there's lines, Starbucks lines are out there. Like you
Oof.
can't even. You got to really order for takeout orders. You really don't want. It's just really now it's a big strategy right now in the month. Like in the beginning, it was cool. Everybody's hype, but now like between these months, lines are everywhere. Like to go to the bank, to go to Starbucks, to go to Wendy's, to go to it's
Line.
lines.
Lines. Do you cut them or you have to just wait in line?
No, there's no. Yeah, I cut the McDonald's line. Like you know how you got to go do the drive-through order.
Yeah.
I cut them because McDonald's is already ready. You could just tell them. Well, it's not even ready. You tell
Mm.
them, "Hey, I'm here for DoorDash." Then they tell you, "Oh yeah, okay, be right outside." So like, shit.
What's been the number one spot you think restaurant wise you've been to?
Oh, for me, it's called Double O's.
What's that?
Ooh, it's like I think it's just one of those restaurants that like, it's like a Outback. It's one of those fancy restaurants like a Out. You ever heard of Longhorn? Or do you guys
Yeah.
have like a Red Lobster?
Okay.
It's like that, but like fancy and better. It's like different. It's not
Okay.
not a food chain. It's just it's our own restaurant.
Gotcha.
There's one, but it's Red Lobster. I would say Outback, Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, Outback Steakhouse, and then mostly the pizzerias.
The local joints, people just getting
Yeah,
some whatever.
yeah, some Cafe con Leche. Like that's one restaurant. We have a Spanish restaurant. Honestly, almost everything now is popular. I'm not gonna lie. You get
You're right. No, that's fair. And where are you again? Which area are you dashing in? It was in upstate, right?
I'm in Wappinger Falls in upstate.
In upstate. Yeah, wow. Have you done any like Walmart kind of things or is that
I
done?
haven't gotten a Walmart order in so long.
And when you got Walmart orders, what was it? Was it like groceries or what exactly did you pick up?
When I did Walmart, like before, it was for groceries, and I think I've always complained that they start giving me Walmart.
Yeah, so now that's I guess that's so you're saying you haven't had any of those. I wonder if they got like they nixed it.
Maybe, but there's people. I'm in this DoorDash group chat, like on Facebook. You know how Facebook got those groups.
Yeah, of course.
So I started going on there, to promote the music and stuff. And like, it's funny, like people are still doing Walmart orders and stuff. So like, I'll be on Facebook on those group chats, and you see everybody. They're brand new to DoorDash, so that's like cool that you can see and
Yeah,
help people out. Like they got questions, like they really got questions.
that's crazy. How has the music been for you during this? Has it inspired any kind of different tunes and are you plugging along?
To be honest, it sped up the mixtape, so the mixtape's out.
Nice.
So that's out. And then I did a song where I sent Bugsy a song. He got onto one of my songs, not for a food delivery song, a separate out of the mixtape. But honestly, I've been just here waiting to get to the studio whenever it's ready, whenever, you know what I mean, when we're allowed back out.
Oh my goodness. So that's a good point. So Bugsy, for people listening, he's an Uber Eats driver and he is a rapper as well. And he confused me because he sent me an email and I was like half asleep and I listened to it and I heard your voice and all of a sudden I went, who's emailing me? I didn't know what was happening. So can you explain to me exactly then the collaboration between you and Bugsy? What's happening? You're blowing my mind right now.
I guess Bugsy made a studio in his closet from what I seen on his Instagram. Like he made his own little studio to keep his music going.
Gotcha.
He hit me up on Instagram and said, "Yo, send me songs. I want to get on a song." I said, "Oh yeah, I got one." So I found like a song that I think it could relate to him. He from the music videos I've seen with all the girls. I'm like, "Oh, I got a song for you." And then from it,
I still want to get you two guys on at the same time. It's going to be a little more difficult now because I'm doing things through my laptop and not, you mentioned Bugsy and his closet. That's where I am right now. I'm recording this with my microphone into my laptop in the
Yeah, I'm gonna
closet. It's you gotta adapt with the times. It's crazy, but one day we'll get in the studio again.
Yeah, nah, we will. We just gotta be patient. That's it. I don't know. You gotta be patient. Just be grateful and just keep washing your hands and stay good, clean. It's really a big process. Like when you get home, you gotta take your shoes off outside. You gotta make sure you just don't want to be. It's like a worry wart. You gotta be so. I'm pulling everything.
Yeah, you got to just repeat the process, and it sounds like, Ben, like you're doing a great job. You're doing everything right. So thank you for hopping on here on Mike Delivers podcast.
Yeah, man, cool.
For everybody again, tell everybody where they can find some of your music and follow you on Twitter, Instagram, etc. The floor is yours. Promote your product, baby.
All right, listen, man. Just find me on Instagram. It's let's say 4-star DoorDash Benny. So it's 4-star DoorDash Benny. And then to find my music, you gotta just put in Benny Blanco with the dosage, Get Rich or Dash Trying. Yeah, on YouTube, you can find me the same way, Benny Blanco with the dosage. And just do what you gotta do, man. Everybody stay safe out there and keep on getting that money, keep dashing, baby.
Was that your? I heard your. What was beeping in the background? Was that your ringtone? What was that?
The DoorDash thing.
Let's hear it again.
Okay. Let me see. Let me play a song real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, let me see which one. Yeah, I got something for you real quick. Oh, I can play this one.
What time is it, son? Oh shit, time down for baby. Oh, is that time? All right, let me see what time is it. In the morning, nah, let me see what's up. Charge phone, check. Oh yeah. Gas, check. Red car, check. Oh yeah. Hot bag, all that bullshit, check. Oh yeah. Nah, I'm good. What's up? We out. I'ma dash. I'ma go 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 dash. Dash. I'ma go 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 dash. Bad. I'm on that. Hold up. Where we going? Matter of fact, check that. Accept that. I'ma dash that. Okay. Throw that baby. Throw that baby. Dash. Chuck, they asking the time. I'm checking the fur. Yeah, what's up? Where we at? We getting that money. Big money alert. They asking this question like, nah, I don't care where you at, where I am. This where I'm from. Getting this money from the bar in the falls. Getting this cash. Oh shit, ain't no turning. Hold back. I'ma go dash. 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 I'm leaving the crib. I'm checking my whip and scully. Ski mask when I'm clocked in. I'm leaving the crib with the red back in case I gotta go dash that.
You know what I'm saying? There you go. So it's not something from the next tape.
Very cool. Well, Benny, thank you very much for hopping on Mike Delivers. Thank you for sharing your music. Thank you for sharing your stories. We'll be in touch and be safe. All right, my man?
Man, see you later, man. Be safe.
There's my conversation with Benny Blanco. Thank you so much for coming on Mike Delivers. Please check out more his rap album. You can see some of his songs, get more of a feel. I'll send some links. They're also in my show notes. Part 2 time, another interview coming up. Here's my conversation with Jose Ariyano. He's in Long Island. He's on the road. We're talking about the Uber Eats life in Long Island during the pandemic. Here it is. It's a Mike Delivers podcast, and happy to have on one of the great listeners to the podcast, another Uber Eats driver. You know me, I always get excited when I can talk to somebody about Uber Eats, their adventures on the road, and I appreciate you listening to the podcast as well. That's Jose Ariyano. Jose, thank you so much for coming on Mike Delivers. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, it's great to be here. You know, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while now about my adventures on the road, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed the little clips that you've sent. I've been pumping those out. It's been fun for our listeners to get a taste of everything going on. Now, you're in the Long Island area, correct?
Yeah, I live in Suffolk County in Holtzville, Long Island, and I've been doing Uber Eats for almost 6 months now.
All right, so you're at 6 months, half a year, and, you know, the first, I guess, 4-ish months were more of a normal routine, but things are a little bit different now. Things have changed. So I'm curious to get your perspective from Long Island, how it's been on the road with all of the changes that have gone on. So from your perspective, in a general sense, the switch from normal life, picking up food, to where we are now and the protocols that have changed and how it has changed everything in general for you on the road?
Well, let's see. First, most importantly, I would say it's more money now, for sure. It's definitely more money. I would say probably I'd probably make about 60 to 75% more per day than I did before. For example, a weekday, let's say like a Tuesday, before the coronavirus, I'd probably make like, I don't know, $50 in 3 hours. And now in 3 hours, I'll make a little bit over about 100 usually. So the money is definitely there for sure.
Let me interrupt you real quick, Jose, because I'm curious about that. Why has the money doubled? Is it the incentives have changed from Uber?
Okay, it's a variety.
Ordering?
Sorry, yeah, it's a variety of things. First, more people are definitely ordering. That is for sure. More people are ordering because they don't want to leave their house. More restaurants have, signed contracts with Uber Eats, with Uber. There's some restaurants that, we never picked up food from before, but now we are. Uber is giving a lot more incentives out. They're giving, I don't know if you're familiar with UberX, but with UberX, they always have those, they're called boosts and surges. The boosts are where one area will give you, like for example, 1.7, where you'll make your delivery money plus 0.7. Right. And then they'll have the surges which will be like these like red hot spots, which will give you an additional $1, $2, $3, depending on the time of the day and the busyness. You're getting both of those, surges and boosts. More people are delivering. And the tips are much better now, definitely, because they know that you're driving out there with the risk of, getting contaminated and all that. And, a lot of people are unemployed right now, so they're being drivers now to make that money. You got to pay the bills. So it's really a variety of like so many different things. And that's how you're getting more money right now.
Are there people that when you're dropping off the food are not following the protocol and are actually like, because I know now it's you leave the food at the doorstep, you don't allow like hand-to-hand contact when you get to the person's house. Are there some people that are still disobeying those rules and accepting the food as if it was just normal times?
I would say, well, the thing is on the Uber Eats app, when the customer orders the food, somewhere when they order the food, they're asked if they want the food to be delivered like normal or the food to be left left in the front door. I would say probably about 75, 80% of customers are saying leave the food at the front door. About 15 to 20% of people just say deliver as normal. You'll go deliver it just like normal. You ring the doorbell, they'll come to the door. I mean, I always wear gloves and a face mask. So I'm safe, but there are some people that just, you just hand them the food just like normal. But a majority though are following the rules.
That's funny. I almost want to say like, just so you know, make sure you watch the news, be safe. Just, you're going out there and you're doing everything the right way, but you don't know what other people, what they're doing and if they're not following procedures. So you just want this like a reminder, be careful everybody out there.
Yeah, exactly. And plus when you're driving around these neighborhoods, there's people, walking around all over the place, without any, PPE and I think I send you, one little, I send you something about people walking around and be careful driving because, people, I understand people go out, they want to get some fresh air, walking around with their families, young kids, babies and strollers and everything. And, you got to be careful, people, all these people, they walk around in groups and everything too. And you gotta be careful. You can't get too close to everybody, You never know.
Yeah, exactly. No, keep an eye on the road for sure. How have the restaurants on the whole treated you, and how has it been as the experience going into some of the restaurants in your area?
Wow, it's like, let me tell you, it's like night and day. You know how it was before. You'd go in the restaurant, you say, you have an Uber for Chris or whatever, and sometimes you have to wait for the food, sometimes it's ready, and it's just like normal days. But now, it's different for every restaurant really, but I would say a majority of them, you go in there and, they want you to practice social distancing where, you stand about 6 feet from one another. Usually they'll only allow 2 or 3 people in the restaurant at a time. You don't have access to the bathrooms or anywhere else besides the front counter. Sometimes the food will be ready and they'll hand it to you right there. Other times they'll say, can you please wait outside? That's another thing. You'll go to these restaurants, for example, like last night I was at a Chinese restaurant and, there was maybe 6, 7 people waiting outside the restaurant and, the door was locked. And, what they would do is the lady would come out with the food and she'd just basically look for your car and then just hand it to you. Other times, all the fast food restaurants, just about all of them now, you have to use the drive-through. In the beginning, they were letting drivers go inside, like McDonald's or Burger King, just the drivers alone to get the food. But now, everyone's using the drive-through.
Oh wow! So you'll go through the drive-through. What if you get there and the order's not ready? What happens?
Well, to tell you the truth, these lines in the drive-thru are so long that,
gotcha.
I was at a Taco Bell 2 days ago and there was probably 10 to 15 cars in front of me. And you would think, oh, why don't I just cancel this order? But, when you get on that line, what I do is with most of my deliveries now, if I wait more than 5 minutes, I'm putting the thumbs down for the pickup experience, and then for the excuse or the issue, I put long line. And I'll do that with probably half my deliveries now. And they give you a good incentive from that. If you look in if you break down the fare or the trip, how they actually pay you, they basically they add another 50% to I think it's the base fare or something like that. I forgot how it goes, but yeah, you're better off just waiting on that long line and just banking,
So it's it really is some strategy to this that I'm sure you're finding now as you're getting kind of a new. You probably had a rhythm with what you were doing with everything before, but now it sounds like with everything with COVID-19 and how you're reacting as a delivery driver. Sounds like you've found your new normal and your new routine and how to take advantage of it and try to make as much money as you can. That's
totally true, Mike. Let me tell you, just last night alone, I just went out for 2 hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and I made $102. That's $51 an hour. And, it was, let me see, I had it written down over here. It was 7 deliveries altogether. Okay. 2 of them were double deliveries. The tips were anywhere from $5 to $15. There were surges and boosts in every single trip that I had. I was only delivering in areas that were hot spots. I know that you used to live in Long Island. You said, Huntington, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good area. I used to deliver around there because tons of people order Uber Eats there, but I found areas closer to where I live, have hot spots so I can make just about the same money over here as well. First I'll drive there and then I'll turn on the app and I'll just, I'll stay within another strategy. I'll stay within a mile of the restaurants too. Another strategy too is you don't want to sit right next to the great restaurants, that people order from all the time because usually they don't choose you to get that delivery. They have this whole algorithm where if you're a good mile away, it gives them time to cook the food. And you probably know about this already. And by the time you get there, then, you pick up the food and, you're the one they're going to choose because of where you're based out of.
That's smart. So then you've got your areas that you hang out. You know where to go. So if you did last night, and I know that's an example. First of all, it's a Saturday night, so it's going to be a little more busy than usual, and things are hot in that sense. But if you were to make, let's just hypothetically play this game because it's crazy to think, $50. We'll round it down for a second just to make the math. $50 an hour. So that's $100 in 2 hours. Multiplied by 4 is it's like $400 and. I don't know where I'm going. I can't do math on the fly, but that kind of money that's just ridiculous. I can tell you as an Uber Eats driver for X amount of time, I would say on average you would do 2 hours before all this, and I would probably come in with between $20 and $30, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, continue.
The tipping thing to me is fascinating because that has definitely changed, because it used to be in dinner orders you'll get a higher tip. It can happen, but it's fascinating to me. People went from $0 to $5 max to where now, you're getting $15 tips, and boy, that adds up quickly.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the cash tips as well. I mean, it's funny because I would say, let's say I go out for like 5 hours, and I don't know, let's say I get like 2 or 3 cash tips, maybe a $5 bill, a $10 bill there. A lot of these people, they give you cash tips, but then they also tip on the app as well. Those are the best ones right there. I don't know if it's because they're not really familiar with ordering, or maybe, one of the spouses, they order the food through the app, tip through the app, and then the husband goes out, picks up the food, and gives you cash. I don't know what it is, but some of them I'm thinking like, wow, they don't know how to tip, but hey, I'll take the money. Why not?
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I would notice that too, where someone would give me, $3, and I'd be like, all right, well, I can expect then that this one wouldn't tip. And then you go on there and it's like $4.72 extra. I was like, thank you.
Yeah,
it's funny though. It's like sometimes, and then you'll have somebody that, I've had somebody before tell me, hey, just let you know that we tipped you, it's on the app, and then it never comes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, don't tease me like that. Never. I don't know, if you didn't tip me, fine. But now I'm like, refreshing the app, looking, and then the tip never comes. It's just so interesting the way people think. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You never know who's going to tip, how much they're going to tip. Never judge a book by its cover, for sure.
Yep.
If you have to deliver food to somewhere that's hard to get to, just do what you got to do to deliver it. Like I hate delivering to hotel rooms. Okay. Or, hotels are probably the worst, because especially if they don't meet you in the front of the hotel. Like I'll drive up to the front of the hotel. I'll text them I've arrived, and then they'll say, okay, room 426, whatever. I'm like, oh shit. Now I got to go find a parking spot and I got to go up there. But sometimes you go up there, you give them the food, and you end up getting like a huge tip after, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't. No, I remember one of my first hotel delivery way back when, a million years ago now, and I delivered a pizza to somebody, and it was a guy and girl in their underwear having red wine. I was like, have a good time. I don't remember what they tipped. Honestly, I have no idea at this point, but I was jarred by that. I was like, oh, okay. I know too, because you're doing all this great stuff with Uber Eats and you're hustling out there, but you're doing this at night, and then you're also working your regular job during the day. So you are definitely keeping busy right now with everything happening.
Yeah. I have a regular full-time job. I work for the Department of Homeland Security, and right now we're actually teleworking out of our houses now. So, I'm working from like 6:30 in the morning to about 3 or 4 p.m. every day. And, I usually deliver 2 or 3 weekdays a week, and then, on the weekends, I always try to push for the dinner hours. So that's where the money's at. I've done mornings, I've done afternoons. But if you want quick, easy money, it's definitely for dinner time, especially now. Oh my God, everybody's ordering Uber Eats right now. And I think I just want to say, if I had, because now that my hours have changed with the radio stuff, I'm jealous on that front, because I can't do nights anymore during the week. So I my whole lifestyle has changed with that. But anyway, that's me interrupting and just venting a little bit. But I'm curious what you were saying. Continue on, Jose. I apologize. No, that's cool. No, I remember when you said that you had switched to the mornings, and obviously you got the Starbucks, which is real busy all the time. People even order Starbucks in the evenings too. It's pretty crazy. I see the line in Starbucks wrapped around the corner. It's a whole. It's just crazy how everybody's nobody wants to leave their house, and they have to go to the supermarket, but. Even with the supermarket, there's Instacart, where shoppers go and pick up your groceries and bring it to your house. My mom, she lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and she orders from the public supermarket. Every couple of weeks they bring her the food, and she gives them a nice tip and everything. But it's just amazing how just everybody just wants to order now, all different restaurants. Oh my God, I was driving around. It was like my last delivery of the night. I was driving in, that was in Center Reach, which is always like, like 2.0 or extra $3 if you go to that area, because they have this one main street that has a Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, and a Checkers, like right next to each other. So every single day, and it's also kind of like in a kind of a shady neighborhood too. We get tons of deliveries over there because nobody wants to leave their house. I guess everybody's lazy around there. But plus what's going on.
Right.
Besides that, so I'm driving down that road, and I don't want to get a last delivery there because the lines are so long there, and I want to just kind of like do one quick delivery and then go back home because I live about 20 minutes from there. So I got through that road without getting any order. And then I got a delivery for like this little Spanish restaurant right near there. I made a quick like $8 or something like that and then went home. But, you know, it's just these drive-throughs are so long. Oh my God. It looks like you're going into like an arena or something. There's so many damn cars everywhere. Oh my God. Let me tell you, Buffalo Wild Wings has to be the busiest restaurant anywhere around here right now.
Really?
I think in Suffolk County, there's only like 2 Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay. And like one of them is in the area where I deliver. You go there and, you're waiting a good half an hour.
So will you just decline an order from a restaurant like that? Cause you have that capability. If you see that, hey, it's going to be in this Buffalo Wild Wings, you won't even waste your time.
You know, it's kind of been hit or miss. It depends on the time of day for me and how much money I've made.
Sure.
Because a lot of times other drivers do cancel. Let's say they go there, they're waiting half an hour, 45 minutes, then they cancel. Then they'll up the amount of the delivery that they're going to pay you. You know, like all of a sudden, like one time I was like 2 minutes away from Buffalo Wild Wings. They say, okay, come, you know, do you accept to pick up this order? We'll give you $15 for it. I'm like, damn, $15. And it said a total of like 8 miles. I'm like, holy shit. So I went there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I told you about this. And I go inside the restaurant. There's like 15 people waiting. And my order comes out like within like a minute. And I just pick it up and I go deliver it. I make 15 and another like $8 on a tip right there. Because I basically, you know, there was another driver probably before me and he ended up canceling it and I got his extra, you know.
I know. It's funny too. And then all these drivers giving you dirty looks like, oh, who is this guy swooping in, coming in for the win? That's not fair. I've been here for 30 minutes waiting for these fucking poppers. This is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get how that works.
Every Tuesday it's buy one, get one free. So you get 15 wings, you get another 15 free. So everybody's ordering, you know.
On Tuesdays. That's tremendous. So what for me, I'm interested to hear your answer on this because we have similar backgrounds in this regard. What is it like having the full-time job and then going into the part-time job and your mindset? Because like for me personally, my income is set. So when I go into this extra job with Uber Eats, there's a bit of an excitement level in the idea that what I put in is what I get out and how much money that I'll end up making based on the hours I do and how motivated I am. So what's it like for you when you're finished with your full-time job and then you're hitting up on the road with Uber?
Yeah. My job is a set salary, my full-time job as well. It's a set, it's a set salary. I've worked in commission in my past. Many, many moons ago, I used to work at Circuit City on commission, and it was an awesome job, and I used to love it because, just the more you sold, the more commission you got. So
right.
I'm a very competitive person. With Uber Eats, I'm always so motivated to get out there and just make as much money as I possibly can in a short amount of time that I could, because, I have a wife and a family here too, and I got to get back to them. But, I love it. It's just like, we have all the freedom in the world with this job. I wanted to thank you for getting me into this, because I used to listen to the Taz show before, and, because I'm a wrestling fan. And I remember one time you were on there talking about Uber Eats, and I had already signed myself up for regular Ubers when I was living in Florida, but I never got to really kick in the butt to do it, because I was always just thinking, I don't know if I want to have strangers in my car and everything. And then when I moved to New York back in November, I heard that you started this podcast, and I started listening to it. I'm like, wow, this sounds really easy and fun. And I started, and I've loved it ever since, man. So I want to thank you for that, for getting me into this.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. Of course, I'm glad you've been able to do it, enjoy it, make a couple extra bucks, and and then it's been fun hearing your stories, adding to coming on the podcast today. So yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Like when I started it, and I've told this story on the podcast, I was looking for an extra part-time job as well. I was doing the morning show. I was free in the afternoons. I needed something to do with my time, and my wife had suggested doing the Uber Eats thing, and I started to do it. And then all of a sudden I was like, I really like this. And I'm like you, I kind of get a little competitive and I have a little fun with it. And at first I was like, I'll do a couple here and there. And then all of a sudden I realized I was like, I can't stop doing this. I'm addicted to this. I want to do as many hours as I can. I was like craving Sundays because I knew that's when people would order the most. And I totally got the bug and totally did that. So did you ever do Uber rides with people in Florida?
You know what? I didn't actually get a chance to do it, but once I signed up, created my account in Florida. Then I never did a drive. 2 months later, I moved to Florida. And, at the time I was waiting, my job started first, and then, my lease in Florida in an apartment, I still like 2 months on the lease, so my wife and stepdaughters were still living there. So I was up here by myself first, and I figured, all right, let me download this Uber Eats app. And then one day I just got in my car. I'm like, all right, screw it. I hit the go button. It was a Saturday or Sunday. I think I had like 20 trips that first day, and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And in the beginning, I was doing it like all the time, like maybe 5 days a week or something like that, because I had nothing else to do. I didn't really know anybody when I first came here. And, and then later on when my wife and kids came up, she needed a job. So she started doing the Uber X, and I was doing Uber Eats. She was doing full-time Uber X, making decent money. The only problem with Uber X is nobody tips, which is a whole nother story, which sucks.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, you get good money from the trips, but like, I don't know, maybe 10% of the people actually tip anything.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, it's a different world. And then at one point I tried DoorDash. Didn't fit me because I didn't like the whole scheduling thing, how you can only deliver in certain sections of the day. And then once you're done with that time frame, that just kind of kicks you out. And then I did do some Uber X too. For like 2-3 days, my wife was like, hey, you should try it, see how it works. And I don't know. I would get so, I don't know. When people were in my car, I didn't, what are the words I could say? I guess, I felt very, like awkward with people that I didn't know in my car. Especially if it was like I had like this father and son in my car, and the son was like 6-7 years old, and it was a rainy night and everything. And I was like, holy shit, like what would happen if I got into like an accident, like, oh my God. Like,
God.
So I just kind of stopped doing it after that.
I'm with you. I would probably have that same anxiety. It's one thing.
Anxiety, yeah.
They're like, we don't need to ruin people's lives tonight. If it's one thing, if they don't get their burrito, they can survive.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. That's another thing with Uber Eats that I love. I mean, you can cancel delivery at any point. You could start, stop whenever the hell you want. You have no boss. It's crazy. It's awesome. I love the job. I'm going to continue, and I'm so happy I found out about it because, I love my full-time job too. But if I ever move somewhere else or anything changes in my life, I can always just do some Uber Eats on the side. If I ever want to pay some quick bills, that's what's so good about it.
Exactly. All right, Jose. Well, I appreciate you hopping on this podcast. You've listened to it before, so you know the last two questions I'm going to get to for my guests. Number one, what's the best thing you ate in the last 7 days from right now when we're sitting down and recording this?
I would say there is in Patchogue, which is an awesome place for deliveries there, and for anyone to just go down there and pick up some food. There's this burger joint called the Local Burger Company, which is like a high-end burger joint. And I got this burger. It was called the Showstopper, and it was delicious burger with a pulled pork, pickles, and coleslaw in it, with a nice toasted bun. It was absolutely delicious. That was definitely the best thing I had this week.
That sounds fantastic. And then finally, if in 6 months from now and, well, I guess we're all allowed to leave our houses, and you're sending out your wedding invitations. Do I get one?
Well, you know what? I haven't had a wedding yet. I am married. I haven't had a wedding yet, but we'll see. It depends on how the size of the wedding, but we'll see about that.
Jose, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, talking a little Uber Eats, talking about your adventures on the road, and be safe out there, my man, all right?
You too, man. Great to be on. Take care of yourself.
There's my conversation with Jose Ariyano. Jose, thank you for coming on this podcast and being a big supporter of it. Same as well to you, Benny Blanco. Thank you guys so much for what you're doing on the road, helping out people, and hopefully you're making a little bit of money. All right, as I promised, let's get to some SU stories. Josh, take it away.
As Mike has previously mentioned, a group of us went to Disney World in the spring of 2004. And one night we went out to this area called Pleasure Island, which I don't think exists anymore, but at the time it was like an adult-themed place for parents to go after they had spent their entire day with kids in the park. And we'd gone to this particular club called Mannequins, which had a revolving dance floor. And we were there, we were hanging out, and these two women who must have been like 40 years old come over and drag us onto the dance floor like, hey, it's my birthday, you have to dance with me. And we were both like 21 years old and dancing with this group of 40-year-old women who were, I believe, were twins. And that is all that I remember from being in that place, but that is a true Syracuse story.
All right, thank you, Josh, for sharing another SU story. They're all real. Every week I get excited for the new one that's going to come. Thank you for doing that. All right, this has been episode number 71. Hey, next week, in 2 days, dropping, or whenever you're listening to these things, episode 72 is coming out. My wife and I have a little food review action. This time, it's all part of May Madness. Every week in May, we're trying a different sandwich spot. This week, it's Jersey Mike's, the roast beef sandwich. Check it on out. That drops on Thursday in a couple of days. TheProsClub.com for more great content. Also, my Patreon page, Mike Delivers. Over there, you can get more information on like how I destroyed my wife's 2007 Toyota Rav4 and a back catalog of podcasts. Please go over to Mike Delivers, all part of Patreon.com, for more awesome stuff. All part of Patreon.com for more awesome stuff. All right, everybody. Thanks to all the participants in this episode. Josh Gutterman for the SU stories. Jose Ariyano and Betty Blanco for sharing their stories from the road. And, of course, Beautiful Noise, the music you hear. This podcast would not be the same without them. This has been episode 71. We'll see you next time, everybody, for that podcast we've all been waiting for. Number 72. Let's go. Called you on the phone, said I'm coming through, hope you're all alone, 'cause I got plans for you. We could stay at home, or dance and hang all night. As long as I'm with you, it doesn't matter what we do. Don't ask me where I've been, or what I'm gonna do, just know that I'm here with you. Don't try to understand, baby, there's no mystery, 'cause you know how I am, I'm real. What you get is what you see, what you try to do to me. You wanna say you're mine, but we with me all the time. You're falling so in love, say you just can't get enough. When you're telling all your friends she's a bad, bad bitch.